Quote of the week, make know your vitamin. Welcome everybody, it's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform your stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. So where is this stress, tension, and pain actually coming from? You know, believe it or not, there's a lot that can arise just from our state of mind. I'm a firm believer in that. That's why I always say to my patients, dive in head first when it comes to dealing with your stress, your tension, and pain. Absolutely. If you've had a slip, a bang, a bump, a fall, trip, there's usually some trauma involved because there's two types of injuries. If you've had a chance to watch and listen to any of my past recordings here, I'll just reiterate, there's two types of injuries that we're usually dealing with here on a clinical level as a massage therapist. One is what we call the trauma. That's the slips, the bangs, the bumps, the falls. We know we've injured ourselves because we've literally had a blunt force to that area, and it feels bad, right? Think of rolling your ankle, spreading your knee, banging your head, so forth. The other type of injury is usually what's far more prevalent that I'm treating and dealing with, and that's what we class as a slow motion injury. This comes from the training I received from Paul St. John, who is a neurosomatic therapist down in the United States. I had the good fortune of being able to go down and work on an internship with him for, I think that was 5 days. I'd love for it to have been longer. I probably could have seen myself moving down that way. And I did seriously look into it. But then we were on a family hike in Bragg Creek, just west of Calgary in Alberta, Canada. It wasn't even summer yet. I think it was late May, and it was maybe 24 degrees. And we were sweating and skiing up this nice viewpoint and mountains there. And we quickly decided that a move to Florida was not what we wanted, indeed, partly for the family, but mainly because we just couldn't tolerate the heat. We loved where we were. We still love where we are. We get the 4 seasons generally, but we definitely get a good winter, and we definitely get a good summer. And some would argue that the winter's too long and the summers are too short. And some would argue the otherwise, because I love to ski and I love to be in the mountains. So anyway, the point being, we decided to stay in Canada. But what I'm trying to say today with this message and this great quote I heard from Les Brown last year, he's a motivational speaker. If you've not had a chance to listen to him speak, he resonates with me. I would highly recommend just go on YouTube, put in Les Brown motivation, and watch any or listen to any of his stuff. Last year when I was doing renos in my basement whilst I was closed for 3 months, he was my coach, and he doesn't even know that. I listened to him over and over and over again every day whilst I was doing all this decorating down here and getting all of this painted. And man, what powerful messages is he able to share? And this was one that stuck with me, is know your vitamin. Because very often we're getting rejected in life. If you check, there's 2 reasons why you might feel stress, tension, and pain from an emotional point of view. It's usually revolving around the fact that we're not getting what we want, or we're getting what we don't want. Just check that for yourself. I'll say it again. Either we're getting what we don't want, or we're not getting what we do want. Our frustrations are being prevented. Our frustrations are coming from our dreams and our wishes not being fulfilled. Because when things are going well, would you agree? You've got that down pat. You've got a pretty good system in place when things are going well. You know how to be happy. You know how to feel good when things are going your way. But what happens when things aren't going your way? You have an injury. You're filled with stress and tension or pain. People are rejecting you. You're trying for this job and this job, but it's not coming. Or a relationship. You're trying this relationship, it's not working. People are telling you no. That word no is coming into your mind stream a lot. And that check. Because that could be coming from an external source, but more often than not, there might not be anybody around you. And you might just have that self-fulfilling prophecy happening from your own side. You're telling yourself no. You're rejecting the opportunities to grow and evolve and expand. That's coming from inside your mind. You have the capacity to be able to change that. That's why this is such a powerful quote, because if you choose now, from this point forward, to say, I'm going to make no my new vitamin, then every time you're rejected, every time you stub your toe, every time things don't go your way, which could be a lot of the time. And I say that with a heartily laugh, because either I laugh or I cry. As a parent with 4 boys, stay-at-home wife, we are a very busy family. And the boys being in teenage years are in teenage mode. And if you're parents with teenagers or have had teenagers in your life, you'll know what I'm referring to. And if you haven't yet, just wait. And that's why I'm imploring you at this point, that just because things might be going well right now doesn't mean they're always going to be going well in the future, is we've got to have a new perspective. Make no your new vitamin. And this is so powerful if you really truly embed and you reinforce this over and over and over and over again, because that's what you've done up to this point. You just reinforced a story up to this point. What is that story and how is that serving you? And if it's not serving you very well, change it. You know, I just shared this on Saturday. I was teaching in Calgary a meditation class, and this is such, again, just a brilliant little skit. Bob Newhart, comedian, stand-up comedian, and it looked like it was back in the 80s, this video. You go on YouTube again and look it up. And he is playing the role of a doctor, looks like a psychiatrist, and this lady enters the room, patient's referred by a friend. I've been referred to you. I believe you're very good at what you do. Yeah, great. Come on in. And imagining being buried alive in a box. And she obviously expands on that story and says, great, sit down. You got 5 minutes. I charge $5 for 5 minutes. So if you take 3 minutes, then I'll charge you $3, but I don't make any change. And he's just going on. Just imagine this whole situation. So he sat behind his office desk. She sat on the other side as the patient and says, so explain to me what's going on. And so she explains that when she starts to think about herself being buried alive in a box, she panics. So it's a form of claustrophobia, the doctor says. Well, yeah, I guess it is. So any tunnels, any tight spaces, she'll get this fear, overwhelming fear come up in her body and her mind. Okay, well, I think I've got the solution for you. And she says, okay, great. It's just 2 words. That's all I need you to remember. And just reaffirm these as often as you need to throughout the day. That's your prescription. That's your medicine. Great, I'm just going to get my notebook. I don't think you need your notebook. It's just 2 words. I think you'll remember them. Oh, okay, go ahead. Stop it! And he yells across the table to her, stop it! And she obviously taken aback a little bit. And he says, okay, and is there anything else? And she starts to then labor the point, right? She starts to then tell the story ever since she was a child. He's like, no. We don't need to go there. We just don't go there. Just remember, stop it. Okay. Well, that was 3 minutes. That's $3. Well, I only have $5. Well, okay, I don't make change. So, oh, great. I'll use the full 5 minutes. Great. What else do you have going on? And she proceeds to tell a whole bunch of different other things. The first thing she says is, I'm bulimic. I keep sticking my fingers down my throat. Stop it! He just yells at her, stop it! Anytime she has this problem that she's starting to talk about, or labor the point by then telling the full story behind it, he just, stop it. And those are 2 very powerful words. We have to guard our mind. We have to watch our mind and pay attention to what's coming up, because this no that I'm talking about today in this quote very often is coming from our mind, our side. It might not be somebody on the outside. We're rejecting ourselves. So pay attention to your mind. And when you catch yourself going down this point of rejecting yourself and these opportunities of growth, and you're not choosing to have this mindset of making no my vitamin, stop it. Stop it in its tracks and make a choice. Get yourself to that crossroads and go, you know what? I keep going down this road, and this is what it's got me to this point, right? Tony Robbins' classic quote of, if you keep doing as you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always gotten. So if you want change, if you're trying to shift yourself away from stress, tension, and pain to more health, happiness, and vitality, try this. That's all I'm going to say to you. Make no your vitamin. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found that a benefit. And please give me some feedback. Like, I wish to know if these are empowering you, sharing this information with you. Is this beneficial? I've got my own set of things I'm sharing every week, but unless you're letting me know whether it's beneficial to you or not, then I'm just going to keep doing it because I'm benefiting from it. It's getting my voice out there. It's also recording me so I can share it with my family. You know, maybe 20 years from now, nobody's been watching these, and that's fine, but my kids get to watch them. And maybe 40 years from now, my grandkids get to watch them. At least those messages are being put out there, and I love to share this with people. So I hope that you're finding benefit. Before I leave, I will say, please take an opportunity whilst you can to get a free copy of my digital book. It's not going to be free for an indefinite period of time. Probably in this next 2 months, I'm launching a new course. That program, or that book's going to be part of that program. At that point, you'll still be able to get a free chapter from my book, but the actual full book you won't be able to get unless you invest. And it's going to be a small amount, but invest in that program. Anyway, if you wish to get my book, you just go to my website, jasonbarlowrmt.com, leave me your email, and I will fire off a digital copy I will leave you on that. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And remember, your muscle health is my #1 priority. Take care and have a great day.